The stadium is loud, chaotic, full of energy, until suddenly it isn't. A player goes down and doesn't move. Teammates wave frantically toward the sideline. The crowd, just seconds ago roaring, falls into a silence that feels almost unreal. In a sport built on collisions, there are moments where everything stops, not because of the score, but because something is wrong. The cameras zoom in, commentators lower their voices, and for a brief moment, the entire stadium holds its breath, waiting for any sign of movement. A moment ago, it was a perfect hit. The kind that ends up in highlight reels and slow-motion replays. Fans cheer, commentators call it physical, dominant, impressive. But in the very next second, that same hit becomes something else. The body doesn't move, the energy disappears, and suddenly, what looked like greatness turns into uncertainty. Now rewind. Football has always been a game of controlled violence. Every snap is a collision waiting to happen. Players train their entire lives to deliver hits, absorb hits, and get back up as if nothing happened. Pain is part of the job. Injuries are expected, but sometimes a moment breaks that pattern. Sometimes a hit changes everything. And the difference between a normal play and a life-changing moment can be less than a second. Every NFL career starts with a dream. A kid watching games on TV, imagining what it would feel like to run onto that field. The lights, the crowd, the intensity. But what many don't see is the trade-off. Because football doesn't just demand skill, it demands physical sacrifice, and at the highest level, that sacrifice becomes extreme. Behind every highlight is a body taking impact after impact, week after week, season after season. Level 1 begins with learning the fundamentals: how to tackle safely, how to fall, how to protect yourself. Coaches repeat the same instructions over and over because technique is the first line of defense. At this stage, the game still feels controlled. Mistakes happen, but the consequences are usually manageable. Players trust the system, believing that proper form will keep them safe. Level 2 arrives when the speed increases. High school turns into college. College turns into the NFL. Players become bigger, faster, stronger. The collisions become sharper, more violent, more unpredictable. What once felt manageable now carries real danger. A single miscalculation can lead to serious injury. And at this level, everyone is moving at full speed all the time. Level 3 is where reality hits. The NFL is not forgiving. Every player on the field is elite, and every play happens at maximum intensity. There is no room for hesitation. One wrong angle, one mistimed hit, and the outcome can change instantly. Most of the time, players get up. They shake it off. The game continues. That's what makes the dangerous moments even more shocking, because they break that expectation. But not always. 1 second, it's a clean tackle. The kind coaches teach, the kind fans celebrate. The next second, it's a player lying still, surrounded by medical staff. The same moment seen two completely different ways. Highlight or horror, depending on how it ends. There have been moments in NFL history where a play didn't end the way anyone expected. A routine tackle turns into something far more serious. A player collapses. Medical teams rush in. Teammates stand frozen, unsure of what they're seeing. In those moments, the game disappears. The scoreboard doesn't matter. Nothing matters except the person on the ground. Time feels slower. The silence grows heavier. Level 4 is the emotional impact. Football is built on brotherhood. Players spend years together, training, competing, and trusting each other in situations where trust is everything. When something goes wrong, that bond becomes visible. Players kneel. Some pray. Others stare, unable to look away. It's no longer about winning or losing. It's about humanity. Even opponents stand side by side, united in a moment that goes far beyond competition. Level 5 is the realization that these moments are not isolated. Over the years, the NFL has seen serious injuries that forced everyone to confront the risks of the sport. Neck injuries, head trauma, long-term damage that doesn't always show immediately. These are not just incidents. They are reminders that the game carries consequences beyond the final whistle. Level 6 introduces one of the hardest truths. Some players never fully recover. Careers end early. Bodies don't respond the same way. And in rare cases, the consequences go beyond the field entirely. These are the moments that stay with fans, players, and the entire sport long after the game ends. They become part of the memory of the game itself. And yet, the game continues. Level 7 is adaptation. The NFL evolves. Rules change to protect players. Hits to the head are penalized more strictly. Equipment improves. Medical protocols become more advanced. Teams respond faster. The goal is simple: reduce risk wherever possible. But the nature of the sport means risk can never be eliminated completely. There will always be a level of danger that cannot be removed. Level 8 is perspective. When you understand what players go through, the game looks different. Every play carries weight. Every collision has meaning. The highlights are still exciting, but there is a deeper layer beneath them. You begin to see not just athletes, but individuals choosing to take that risk every single time they step on the field. And if you ask players about this later, many of them will tell you the same thing. They knew the risks, they understood what could happen every time they stepped onto the field. And they still chose to play. Not because they ignored the danger, but because they accepted it. That's the mindset required to compete at that level. Level 9 is awareness. Fans begin to understand the balance between entertainment and reality. The same hit that looks impressive in slow motion also carries risk in real time. The same play that excites millions can change one player's life instantly. That awareness doesn't remove the excitement, but it adds respect. And this is where the real truth appears. Football is not just about strength or skill. It's about acceptance. Players understand the risks. They know what can happen, and they still choose to play. That decision requires a level of commitment that goes beyond talent. Eventually, every sport reveals its reality. For the NFL, it's not just the championships or the iconic moments. It's the understanding that greatness comes with a cost. Not everyone pays the same price, but the possibility is always there. And now we return to you, watching the game, seeing the hits, the speed, and the intensity. Maybe the real question isn't just how exciting football is. Maybe it's how much risk exists behind every single play. Because the next time the stadium goes silent, you understand why. And maybe that's what makes those moments so powerful. Because they remind everyone watching that behind every helmet is a real person with a life beyond the game. The silence isn't just fear, it's respect. Respect for the risk, the courage, and the reality that football, at its core, is as dangerous as it is spectacular. And in those moments, the game changes completely. It's no longer about strategy or competition. Players who were opponents seconds ago now stand together, focused on one question: is he okay? The noise disappears, and everything slows down. This is the side of football no highlight reel shows. Behind every play is a human body, and behind every helmet is a life beyond the field. That's why these moments stay. Not because of fear, but because they reveal the reality behind the game. What looks like entertainment is built on risk and sacrifice. Football will always be fast and intense, but in those rare moments of silence, it becomes something else, something human. And here's something to think about, knowing everything you now know about the risks, the injuries, and the reality behind the game. Would you let your own child play football? Write yes or no in the comments.